Thank you for joining me, Ashwin Berry, on NMH at 1, where we highlight the news making waves in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs to community stories, sports and economic news. Coming up in this broadcast, minus $1.3 billion Namibian medicine tender halted, airport standoff triggers blood crisis, ACC raids Karasburg Town Council. Follow all our programs on oneup2.com or DSTV 285 or GoTV 25 in Namibia. Midday news update after the break. Residents of Windhoek gathered yesterday morning at the Urban and Rural Development Ministry to demand access to water and electricity, the removal of Red Force debt collectors, and better living conditions in the capital. Famous Namibian musician Jericho Kawanab also joined the protesters. Karutura residents say their pleas have been ignored by the Windhoek City Council for more than 6 months. Apart from access to water and electricity, residents insist that debt collectors from Red Force must no longer be deployed by the city. Algeto Greg reports.
Basically we are here with the petition that we gave to the minister. We first went to the mayor's office. He did not want to respond to us. We came working with all the people from the Karatura Central on behalf of our people. We came to come see the minister here himself, because we gave him a petition 6 months ago. It was never replied upon. We got the opportunity to speak to the mayor also, to the minister himself. We just got to give him 72 hours, so that in return we need an answer, and we gave him some of our pointers that we want him to respond upon, so that we can also know exactly where we stand with our people, with our minister.
Well, what are the issues?
The issues are basically just water and electricity. The Red Force that the municipality as debt collectors has taken people's houses. We also spoke on their behalf of the people, elder people that cannot afford to pay that outstanding amounts that we owe to the municipality. So we're just trying to take care of the situations, man, because these are our own people. This debt needs to be. Where do the people go from here if they have to take these houses? We grow up in Katatura, we grow up in Windhoek. We don't have people outside. We don't have other houses. If we get evicted from where we are right now, where we are going. So we're trying to build up a relationship, not only just a relationship, but they have a solution to the problem of what we can do together as in hand to solve the situation that we are in as human beings. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy that I'm part of this movement. I'm just happy that we came to a conclusion in peace, as in one, and we came to an understanding. We just hope that the agreement will be benefiting both parties at the end of the day, which will be in the next 72 hours from now.
Visual News highlights local stories from across Namibia right after the break.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
The Soccermund Municipality and Oranienburg Town Council signed a memorandum of understanding to foster greater collaboration between the two towns. The signing took place today at the Soccermund Municipality Council Chambers. Soccermund Councillor Blasius Horaseb alongside Oranienburg Councillor Guame Stephanus signed off the respective MOUs. Precious Ngitaunapo reports.
All protocol duly observed. Good morning to you all. I'm Councillor Blasius Horaseb, alternate chairperson of Management Committee of the Soccermund Municipal Council. And what follows is my brief 2 cents on this agreement that we've just signed. Collaborations within organizations in general and across sectors in particular, like any process, requires planning and advanced attention. There is a built-in gap between theoretical thinking and the basic concept of collaboration that sees the importance, the positive, the benefits and the advantages of partnership and sharing, and the actual implementation and difficulties of realization. Collaborations require breaking conventions, changing patterns of thinking, work habits and traditions. Municipalities are the building blocks of a successful society, and cooperation between them is essential for tackling the challenges of our rapidly changing world. Cities and towns must work together to develop innovative solutions to common problems such as housing availability, transportation, public safety, environmental sustainability, and above all, alcohol and substance abuse issues. We are eager to learn from other municipalities, tried and tested programs and solutions for substance abuse. By pooling resources and expertise, Director of Ceremonies, I believe these two institutions can create synergies that are mutually beneficial. With this agreement, Honorable Stefanos, let's create a culture of innovation. Let's prioritize research and development. It is a known fact, Honorable Stefanos, that the Memorandum of Understanding we have just signed is silent on the issue of technology. Yet I believe that sufficient real-time data about our cities are crucial for informed decision-making. Rio de Janeiro was one of the first cities to put into practice a smart city operation and a management center called the City Brain. This center integrates data from more than 30 government departments, integrates social crowdsourcing data, and shares data and information with the Public Security Cluster's Integration Command and Control Center. The Smart City Brain is a kind of city operation and management service system that collects real-time urban data.
MultiChoice Namibia, in collaboration with NBC, yesterday evening launched the Mukorob Film Project, 13 locally produced films that will be screened on Mnet channels and Showmax during the launch. Roger Getse and CEO of MultiChoice Namibia said they want to bridge the gap between the school leavers and the business world, such as the Talent Factory, by honing storytelling and movie-making skills. The Afrikaans movies will be screened every Sunday on KykNet. Jemima Bierkas reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight it is my privilege to celebrate the completion of 13 locally produced Namibian films and to honor everyone who has worked tirelessly to see this dream come alive on screens across the land of the brave. This year, for the first time, MultiChoice Namibia has produced over 12 hours of local content that will reach millions of homes, speaking over 40 languages across 50 countries and reaching more than 100 million people on the African continent. Hours of new content have been added to our broader local content library of nearly 70,000 hours of viewing that speaks to the heart of viewers across the continent. That's what we mean when we say this project takes Namibia to the world. Give yourself a round. Already enjoyed a few trailers tonight here, like others across the world, respond enthusiastically to seeing themselves, their culture, the aardappelslaai wat dit droog is, and their communities represented by homegrown productions. Today we are truly proud to showcase the wonderful talent that exists in our beautiful country and want to celebrate those brave creators who dare to make their dreams a cinematic reality. The ambitious project, Project Mukorob, was made possible through the strategic partnership between MultiChoice Namibia and the NBC.
After the break, Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment.
Good evening and welcome to Sunset News.
Attachment stays in list A and then see the speech, rate and taxes, and how much.
After the break, we take a look at the sports.
We bring you
Economic indicators, tomorrow's weather and sports. I am Aina Raiza Kweyong.
Namibian Sun reports that the Finance Ministry has asked the Attorney General whether it is legal for the Central Procurement Board of Namibia to award a $1.3 billion tender to a company majority owned by a minor. The 5-year-old child, who is a 51% shareholder in Cosfarm Investments, and his Zimbabwean father, 49% shareholder, are on the verge of landing a lucrative 2-year pharmaceutical supply contract. The planned award was, however, challenged by other bidders who instituted a review. The review panel dealing with the matter consists of Tulimeyo Kapanda, Brownie Mutrifa, Helena Mpolo, and Gilbert Habimana. According to the publicly available information, Cosfarm was initially disqualified from the bidding process after errors were detected on its bidding document, but it made its way back into contention following a controversial reconsideration. On page 3, labor unions say they have all the right in the world to pursue private business interests, and it will strengthen their ability to represent workers and advocate for better working conditions. The Trade Union Congress of Namibia affiliates the Namibia Seamen and Allied Workers Union, the Namibia Fishing Industry and Fishermen Workers Union, the National Union of Namibian Workers, and the Namibia Food and Allied Workers Union have in the past attempted to make inroads into the fishing industry by applying for fishing quotas. NUNW Secretary General Job Munairo said while the union did not have fishing quotas, nothing is stopping it from acquiring such in the future. On the front page of the Republican, time is money and money is what we do not have. These were the words in which the complaint was closed, which was handed over yesterday to the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Erastus Uthoni. Disgruntled residents of Katutura held a marching protest to the head office of the Windhoek municipality and then to Uthoni's office looking for answers and help. The residents gave the minister 72 hours to take the action and provide feedback. They specifically demand that Uthoni must intervene in the municipality's use of company Red Force to collect debt. On page 3, Deputy Mines Minister Cornelia Shilunga yesterday announced the Electricity Control Board's new board. Its tenure begins tomorrow and will last for 4 years. The board is chaired by Evangeline Nailenge, with Professor Shama Shevikua serving as her deputy. Other board members are Mburuma Apollos, Vinicia Klutter, and Helen Vosloo. On its front page, the Algemene Zeitung reports that after almost 9 years of trial, the two Americans Marcus Thomas and Kevin Townsend were found guilty yesterday of the murder of Andre Hekme in 2011. Judge Christy Liebenberg also found them guilty on other charges. Despite complicated evidence based on circumstantial and direct evidence, I have reasonably concluded that the defendants committed the murder and acted with direct intent and a common purpose, Judge Christy Liebenberg exposed. On page 2, AZ focuses on the court case that revolves around the abolition of the veterinary fence Red Line. The court allows the plaintiff, Joba Mopanda, to submit his financial resources. Depending on his financial situation, he could be granted a so-called cost protection order, which would relieve him of court costs if the case is in the public interest. Mopanda filed a lawsuit on May 26, 2021, seeking a court injunction to strike down the fence and declare it unconstitutional. Now we continue with the Namibian and the Hosea Kutako International Airport after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
The Namibian reports that the scuffle for cargo at the Hosea Kutako International Airport has left the blood transfusion service of Namibia, NMBTS, with expired goods, backlogs and emergency orders. Blood testing material will expire today as the battle between airport services company Menzies Aviation and the Namibia Airports Company for Cargo continues. The NMBTS consignment is part of the cargo stuck in Menzies warehouse and cold storage as the blame game continues. After a mediation session on Tuesday between the parties involved, it was agreed that the cargo would be released. However, it cannot be found. On page 3, the Anti-Corruption Commission yesterday descended on the Karasburg Town Council in a wide-ranging investigation into the affairs of the local authority. This comes after the council found itself at odds with the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Erastus Utoni, following a standoff which has been ongoing for more than 2 months. The Landless People's Movement-dominated council has accused Utoni of undue interference in the town's affairs. New Era's lead story reports that Prime Minister Sarah Koongelwa Madila says the government has set aside $892 million Namibian dollars to, among others, arrest food insecurity in the country and address drought-related issues coupled with malnutrition. Koongelwa Madila said this in the National Assembly on Tuesday when she was responding to questions by the opposition about the hunger situation in Namibia. Now on page 3, the leader of the Botswana Ba Namibia in Aminuis in the Omaheka region, Andrew Mohwaketsi Khoesamang, says his people need more land as the tribe is growing. Speaking recently at the Shaka Industrial and Agricultural Show, the traditional authority leader said he is ready to advise on the land issue with the country's leaders and urged them to consider availing more land to the Botswana Ba Namibia. The chief said land is an issue because even their children who went abroad for greener pastures are coming back to Namibia, and they too will need land. Thus, he also advised those who can to start buying farms and apply for resettlement farms. Now, the Market Watch reports that the Bank of Namibia's monetary policy framework, which dictates interest rates in the country, has proven its efficacy time and again. According to the governor of the central bank, Johannes Kawahab, Kawahab singled out the Bank of Namibia as one of the key institutions to fortify the country's economic landscape at the Bloomberg Namibia In Focus event on Tuesday. The central bank stands as a guardian of financial stability, meticulously managing the nation's monetary policy, he said in his address titled Safeguarding Stability in a Changing World. The benefits of the one-to-one peg arrangement to the South African rand outweigh any perceived disadvantages, he said. The peg to the rand is the deciding factor in the BON's monetary policy, which means that Namibia closely follows interest rate developments in the neighboring country to prevent capital outflow. Stay with us as we talk Capricorn Group's listing in economic news.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news. Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Locally listed Capricorn Group invested $21.7 million Namibian dollars in social responsibility programs and projects in Namibia and Botswana in the year ended 30 June 2023, about 33% or $5.4 million Namibian dollars than its previous book year. The group, which includes the Capricorn Foundation and the Capricorn subsidiaries Bank Windhoek, Capricorn Asset Management, Entrepot, and Bank Gaborone, released its annual social value report yesterday. The report emphasized the 32 projects supported by the Capricorn Foundation. The foundation was established in February 2020 as a non-profit company and registered welfare organization to act as the main vehicle of Capricorn Group's corporate social responsibility programs. The foundation focused on many projects during the past year, but two of its primary focus areas include education and food security. The Capricorn Foundation Food Waste Challenge is the first signature project of the foundation and has been hugely effective in creating broad awareness of the issue of food waste that contributes to food insecurity. Let's head into the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 19.20 next to the US dollar, with 23.86 Namibian dollars getting you 1 British pound. MTC managed an uptick of 0.10% whilst most selected NSX stock closing prices maintained their value. Local index closed up as well as the overall index, which closed 0.75% higher. Copper, Brent crude oil and platinum are all in the red, whilst gold is 0.15% higher. Gabon's former president has been released from house arrest. Stay with us.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with the entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Gabon's former president, Ali Bongo Ondimba, has been released from house arrest and is free to leave the country for medical treatment. The military, which removed him from power last month, has said Bongo, who had been held under house arrest since a military coup on August 30, was toppled from power shortly after he was declared the winner of much criticized elections that would have seen him extend his 14-year rule as a president. Given his state of health, the former president of the republic, Ali Bongo Ondimba, is free to move about. He may, if he wishes, travel abroad for medical checkups. Gabon's military spokesman Colonel Ulrich Manfombi said in a statement. The statement announcing Bongo's release from house arrest was signed by General Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, who was sworn in as Gabon's new head of state on Monday. Oligui is a cousin of Bongo, who had served as bodyguard to Bongo's late father and also headed the country's Republican Guard, an elite military unit. Now, stay with us as we head into international news.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
In international news, a draft law banning speech and dressing detrimental to the spirit of Chinese people has sparked debate in China. If the law comes into force, people found guilty could be fined or jailed, but the proposal does not yet spell out what constitutes a violation. Social media users and legal experts have called for more clarity to avoid excessive enforcement. China recently released a swath of proposed changes to its public security laws, the first reforms in decades. The clothing law has drawn an immediate reaction from the public, with many online criticizing it as excessive and absurd. The contentious clauses suggest that the people who wear or force others to wear clothing and symbols that undermine the spirit or hurt the feelings of the Chinese nation could be detained for up to 15 days and fined up to $680. Those who create or disseminate articles or speeches that do so could also face the same punishment. The proposed legal changes also forbid insulting, slandering, or otherwise infringing upon the names of local heroes and martyrs, as well as vandalism of their memorial statues. Online people questioned how law enforcers could unilaterally determine when the nation's feelings are hurt. Stay with us as we head into local sport.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
The Namibia Sports Commission today announced that it received 1.045 million Namibian dollars from the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service to settle outstanding financial rewards owed to athletes and coaches as per the country's policy. The money has already been disbursed to the athletes and coaches' accounts as early as this morning, NSC said. The MTC Namibian Netball Premier League 2023 concludes this weekend at the Commasdau Netball Courts in Windhoek. 12 clubs will gather in the capital as the second leg of netball action concludes their scheduled fixtures. The school's rugby season reaches an exciting climax this weekend, with all finals of the Standard Bank Age Leagues being played at the Hage Geingob Stadium. On late Friday afternoon, the bronze final of the Under-19 Super League will be played between the two semi-finalists eliminated last weekend. We are talking Ballon d'Or as we head into international sport.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
For the first time in well over a decade, Cristiano Ronaldo is not a nominee, but Lionel Messi and Erling Haaland are among the leading contenders to win this year's men's Ballon d'Or, with some surprises of Bukayo Saka, Odegaard and Ramsdale from Arsenal, while Spain World Cup star Aitana Bonmati leads the nominees announced on Wednesday for the women's prize. Italy have brought in English-born lock Dino Lamb and prop Danilo Fischetti to their starting XV for the Rugby World Cup Pool A clash against Namibia in St. Etienne on Saturday, the only changes from their final warm-up in the win against Japan. Australia paceman Mitchell Starc is eyeing a return to the 2024 edition of the Indian Premier League after an 8-year absence from the lucrative 2020 tournament. The left arm last played for Royal Challengers Bangalore in the 2015 competition, but has skipped the IPL in recent years to lighten his playing load and focus on national team duties. If you are just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and we'll get into today's highlights from today's broadcast after this.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraita. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Getting into this afternoon's highlights, Gabon's former president Ali Bongo Ondimba has been released from house arrest and is free to leave the country for medical treatment, the military which removed him from power last month said. A draft law banning speech and dressing detrimental to the spirit of Chinese people